Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at one of the original and indeed one of my favourite Generation 1 figures. This is of course Generation 1 Thundercracker. So what we're going to do this video, we're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. Because he's got an abundance of accessories, I'm going to show you them all to help you know if yours is complete. With him being a vintage figure, I'm going to point out things that you need to be aware of if you have to purchase one for yourself. I've also got an example of a Mexican version here and a pre-rub and a standard version. So again, I can help you and show you the differences between them as well. And of course, we will do some comparisons with some other Thundercracker figures that have been released down the generations, toy lines, including ones that aren't, I suppose, your most traditional versions of him. And indeed, we can have a quick look at the strangest Generation 1 version of him right there. I'm going to explain all this in a second. While I'm packing these away, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. So here we go, guys. Right in front of us, as I've said, one of the greatest figures and characters in Transformers history. Let's get rid of that glare as best I can. We have got Generation 1 Thundercracker. Now, I suppose as well, if we want to be pedantic and I suppose a little bit truthful, these are the original, maybe parts formers, shall we say, because pretty much all the pieces you can take away and then reattach. The robot mode is so basic. If we want to talk articulation, we can turn the arm up and down and that's your lot, guys. Nothing else you can do. The legs don't really do anything. As I say, they're not joined together, but you can't really move them. But I don't care. I don't care if it doesn't do anything. I think it just looks great. I love the color scheme on it. You can see here that this is die cast. That's why it's gleaming and shining so well. We've got the lovely, as I say, translucent orange cockpit at the front, and this is what I mean by parts formers. You've got the wings, as in the large wings here, which you can see, which will come off no problem whatsoever. You've then got the tails, you've got the tail fins, you've got the rocket launchers, you've got the fists, and then you've got, yeah, I suppose, depends how you want to display it. You've got your rockets and your missiles. When it's in robot mode, you've normally got these longer versions, and then when there's the jet mode, you've usually got these smaller rockets that just attach very carefully under the wing, sorry, like so. This is the most important thing with all of these missiles. See, there's actually a little bit of stress in it there, making sure that this little tab is at the back, and I'll just show you it again. Oh, funnily enough, there you go. This one is broke, didn't even realize, so I can show you. This is good, this is educational. A, I found out it's broken. B, you guys can see the difference. See the little tab at the end? If that bit's snapped off, as you can see, it'll find it very hard. In fact, I will show you while we're here. It pretty much now won't hold into these. There you go. So it is something important, it is something to look out for, and I now know I need to find another one. The missile launchers as well, the springs have been pretty much taken out. Unless you've got the Takara version, then they will completely fire. The other piece of accessory that comes with it is the landing gear, and that goes under there. And what you're looking for the standard Hasbro, I know this may sound really silly and I'll give you the example in a minute, is that it's got the metal wheel. If it's got the metal wheel in, then it's a normal version. If it's all plastic, it will be the Mexican version. You can see that when I display them in robot mode, I actually store mine inside there. Right, again, I just think the sticker system worked with him. I love the color scheme. It just works so well. The alternate mode is super iconic. It's always going to be, and as you can see, it just gleams. It looks so good. Of course, these are all stickers, no tamper graphs here, definitely not invented at that particular time. And I've not pushed these all the way in because I've literally just took this out of the box for a video, because what I want to show you with this is there's no rub sign on this. So there's a rub sign there on that nose cone, you can see. The rub sign was put in a couple of different places. So we've got a rub sign there on the nose cone, and then we've got a rub sign there on the back part. So this is, I suppose, this is one of your later versions of Thundercracker. So this would be, yeah, once they added the rub sign. Now, the two ways you can tell this just by looking at the box. If you see there above Transformers, you've got an R, and that's because it's a registered trademark. And again, exactly that. Everything has been registered. And I suppose there's nothing more else to say about that apart from the fact that everything has been registered and recognised, whereas the original boxes with the pre-rubs, they had the TM above it. So there's a couple of differences, as I say, with the figure and the box combined. Everything else is still the same. It's just that I know that some collectors like to collect TM boxes and registered trademarks. That's another little variant you can have a nose for. While we're here, we might as well continue looking at this particular box. Just beautiful. I'm so lucky to have this. For people who are interested in the grade, it got an 80%, and we can spin it around, ages 5 and up, it says there, and we can have a look at the back. There is the original 84 battle scene, and there is his tech spec. Right, continuing looking at the standard one. So we're going to keep looking at the alternate mode for now, of course, the F15, and there again, it's just nice, isn't it? I think the plastic, the colors of it all just really work. One thing I've said before in previous videos, it's just an opinion, I've heard a few other people say as well, I wonder if maybe they got the names mixed up between, you know, Skywarp and Thundercracker, because if you have a look, you'd think that, you know, Skywarp would be the color of the sky blue, and of course Thundercracker would be the maybe black and purple in the clouds. Not too sure. Something for you to think about there anyhow. So yeah, the F15 Eagle is beautiful. What we're going to do, we're going to have a quick look while we're here at the Mexican version. So this is the Mexican version. So with the stickers, you can tell there's no white trim on it. You can't really make out. This has got the lovely sort of sheen to it. This is just dull blue plastic. Maybe you can just about make it out, actually. This of guy isn't complete, unfortunately, either. You can see, or you can't see, actually. It's unfortunately damaged as well. The nose cone on this as well is solid plastic. It's not rubber. And, of course, you're going to have a different stamp because they're going to have Japan taken out of the stamp. So I'm lucky enough as well to have a boxed Mexican variant, which is this, and hopefully you can see, and I've actually done a separate video on this if you want to see it in maybe a bit more detail, just I suppose the quality standard difference between these. You can see this is much, yeah, it's just faded. It's nowhere near as shiny. It doesn't pop as much. The actual image of Thundercracker himself, again, just looks faded. To be honest, this looks a bit like a knockoff, but it's not. It is a guaranteed Mexican version. And the interesting thing as well about the box is, well, first and foremost, we can see there that there's no white stripes on either the tail fins or on the main wing fins. And then when we turn it round, you've got the IGA logo there, which is the Mexican logo, IGA Plasticos, and of course it will all be in Spanish. But the interesting thing on the back is the tech spec is completely different. You've again got the IGA logo. You can again see that the quality of this doesn't look as good. The sheen's not there, but you'll notice the omission of robot points. So unfortunately, they didn't have the robot points either. I think there you can really see the difference in how much more faded this particular version is. Right, let's move these back again, hopefully not get too much of a glare. Now yes, Thundercracker, funnily enough, did have another release under the Generation 1 banner. This was his Action Master version, so you may not have seen this because this is, I believe it's a European, Canadian and Australasian exclusive. So I think basically everywhere apart from Japan and USA had this particular version. He did have an exosuit. Again, there's a separate video on it on my channel if you want to watch it, and he is now much more famously known as Shattered Glass Thundercracker. But that's where this guy came from. He was released under the Generation 1 timeline inside that banner, and there he is. So if you're wondering, or if you ever wondered where he got the Shattered Glass colours from, or the Shattered Glass universe, for him it came from this particular figure. Now, the great thing about Thundercracker is no matter how many times he's reissued, how many times he's remade or reused, even, you know, little scale like this from Combiner Wars, or even maybe this one, you know, not relatable as an F15, under, I suppose, the IDW banner of Transformers, he's still, you can tell that it's Thundercracker. And I think that's just a great, I suppose, attribute to have. This guy I'm trying to stick in at the side is the Earthrise version, so it's his normal jet, and then even when he's in his Tetrajet like so, you can still tell that it's him. Yeah, yes guys, sorry, nice and biased towards this. I thought I'd do a little showcase for you. Hopefully you found it interesting and educational. As I say, the rub sign boxed figures will have an R on. pre-rub will have TM on. Mexican version will have plastic nose and missing the white trim on the stickers. And again, there's a few more videos in more detail on these if you want to watch them. Hope you found this interesting. Let me know in the comments, and of course guys, take care. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.